In this video, we're going to look at the area of a kite. What is a kite? A kite is quadrilateral, it has four sides, 1, 2, 3, 4. And in this particular quadrilateral, we have two sets of adjacent sides. So we say that this black line here is adjacent to this black line here. And we can also say that this red line down here is adjacent to this red line over here. So the red lines are beside each other, the black lines are beside each other. The other point to note is where the two, let's call them opposite lines, where they intersect, they create equivalent opposite angles. So this angle here will be the same size as this purple angle over here. So where one black line meets one red line, and where the other black line meets the other red line, those two sides make equivalent opposite angles. Okay, they're the same size and they're opposite each other. Right, now the other thing we need to look at with a quadrilateral, or pay some attention to, is well, let's look at the diagonals. So if we nominate a color for this, if we say that this line diagonal to the opposite line here, if we're to think about an x and a y axis. So on an x and a y axis, we have the x axis over here and the y axis over there. So I'm going to call this blue line the y axis, and I'm going to call this one over here the x axis. We'll make it the same color as well. So we have our y and our x axis. They're like two diagonal lines within the kite. Okay. Now, why are we making these? Well, something you want to think about is if we make another line right now, and this time I'll make it a jagged line, make it purple. So if you think about what a kite is really, and I'm going to make a larger rectangle around the outside of this kite as best I can. Okay, so this purple rectangle encapsulates or fills in. It doesn't fill, well, it does. It encompasses the kite, and it also makes a rectangular grid outside the kite. Well, why would we do this? Let's use some color right now. First of all, I'm going to color in or shade in the original kite. If I shade in the original kite here, in green as best I can, doing it rather quickly just to give you an idea. So the green kite, well, what the more spatially gifted of you will spot is that it's exactly half the area of the purple rectangle outside. So what we can pay attention to is this little triangle here will be the same size as that triangle there. This triangle here is the same size as that triangle there. This larger triangle down here will be the same size as this larger triangle here, and this larger triangle here will be the same size as this larger triangle there. So what you should be able to piece together is the idea that if you have a kite, it is exactly half the area of a rectangle that would go outside the x and y axis diagonals of the kite. So therefore the area of a kite, there's my kite, is half of x times y. Now that's our formula we use to find the area of a kite, and this should enable us to deduce and work out, calculate the area of any given kite.